Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. As I said at the end of my last video regarding Jeanette Braun, the unhinged TikTok lawyer, and Lauren the mortician, and BUNNIE XO, and this entire debacle, literally one of the last things I said was, hopefully there's not another update by the time I post this video. Well, there is. That is what we're doing right now. It was a lot, taking a turn. So as I said in that video, my last update was that BUNNIE XO DM'd me on TikTok and said that she had DM'd me on Instagram. I did not see a DM on Instagram. Just to be clear, sometimes my Instagram DMs can be, or my Instagram DM requests, which is where hers was, can be finicky. I don't know if y'all's are like that, but it'll either show none or a million or 5, and it just has a mind of its own. Now I thought that that could be the case, so I checked on my phone, my work phone, my computer, my iPad, just so I could make sure that I wasn't missing something, and I truly didn't think that she sent me one. However, like I said, she messaged me on TikTok and said that she had messaged me on Instagram. I didn't see anything, and then it turned out that she had blocked me on Instagram and TikTok, and so I was like, what's happening? It's 5 a.m. I don't understand. Now, in case you're unaware, BUNNIE XO, also known as Alyssa DeFord, is the host of the Dumb Blonde podcast. She is also a internet personality, and she is the wife of musical artist and songwriter Jelly Roll. On this podcast, she interviews a wide range of people, celebrities, musical people, influencers, and even her husband. Now, she met her husband, Jelly Roll, in 2015 when she was attending one of his concerts. He has, oh my goodness, the voice of an absolute angel. It is so beautiful. And I believe I saw on Instagram last night that he won the Country Music Award for Best New Artist, I think. I can be completely making that up because I think I saw that at 4 a.m. Like I said before, I don't sleep. So they got married in 2016 in Las Vegas, and then they renewed their vows in 2023. And it looks like they do share a daughter, she's the stepmom. And from everything I've seen, she loves that girl so much. And then I saw also that he has another kid, and I got confused because I was like, where's the other one? This video is not about that, so it really does not matter. And also they live in Tennessee. And she is the client of Jeanette Braun of Braun IP Law, who is truly just a hemorrhoid in my butthole. So to continue, BUNNIE commented on a short, a reel basically, but on YouTube, that I made explaining the update of this whole situation, saying that Jeanette tried to have my video taken down for copyright, which it was not copyright infringement, on behalf of BUNNIE. And obviously I read through all those correspondence in my last video, and it is just truly wild. So BUNNIE XO commented on that video and said, "Why is my name being brought into this?" Laughing emoji. "I've never tried to have any of your videos taken down, girly. Take care." With a heart, a shooting star, and a little sparkle. And I said, "Babe, is Jeanette going rogue? Please talk to your lawyer. She has been fighting with YouTube for the last week, saying that you are going to sue me and YouTube/Google for copyright infringement when my content is protected under fair use." Quite interesting. So I, of course, pinned that comment on that short. And what do you know? Since then, BUNNIE deleted that comment. And after I had seen that she had DM'd me and then blocked me, and I was just so confused, I commented back and said, "Girl, you DM me on TikTok at 1 a.m. saying that you DM me on Instagram and then blocked me on both TikTok and Instagram. What you doing?" And then BUNNIE responded back saying, "You insult me in your TikTok post, then expect me to want to have a conversation." No, girl, I never expected you to want to have a conversation, but you DM'd me saying that you wanted to, and then you blocked me, so. I saw this video first, then the other one. I'll unblock you to give you my number. And like I said, since then, BUNNIE deleted her comment. How do we know? Because you can see right here that there's no pinned comment on this video. The pinned comment was deleted, so cool. Which, whatever, that's okay. She can do that if she wants. So she messaged me on TikTok like I had showed y'all and said, "Hey girl, I messaged you on IG." And then she said, "Hey girl, I had seen your video on YouTube first, then saw your one on TikTok. You have to understand, I've been dragged into this. And honestly, I don't want to be involved. I am a communicator though, and I'm always down to talk things out. Feel free to call me anytime, but just know I was sent your video and wasn't offended at all." I don't care if you were offended. That's a you problem, not me. I've even said she didn't say anything bad, so why am I being brought into this again? Also, before I responded back to her, and when I had just seen her comment at that point when she's like, "I've never tried to have anything taken down," I did post it on my Instagram story, and I was like, "So this is interesting, but I don't believe this to be true." that she has like no idea. And that's okay. That's just my opinion. So as you saw, Bunnie did suggest that I call her and that we talk it out. I personally don't want to do that. I'm not really comfortable doing that. Also, my son is in the stage where he's not like screaming. He does do that. But like right now, he's in his crib right now just yelling. Like he's not crying. He's talking. He's finding his voice. He's finding his vocal range and he's fine. He's playing with a toy in there. He's okay. So I'm not trying to like be stressed trying to entertain him while being on the phone with her. And I don't have any interest in that at all. Also, I would want to record that conversation for my own protection and for just, legal purposes. However, she lives in Tennessee and that is a one-party consent state in regards to recording conversations. But then I live in Florida, which is a two-party consent state. So I can't do that. If I was going to record anyone, I would let them know ahead of time because I'm not a complete piece of trash. So we DM'd instead, and I have a lot to say about this. I said, good morning. I won't be able to talk on the phone for all the reasons that I just explained to y'all, but you are correct. I didn't say anything too bad about you and expressed my disappointment. Since Monday morning around 2 a.m. Eastern time, Jeanette, your lawyer, has been trying to get my content removed from YouTube. She submitted copyright claims on your behalf. My content is protected under fair use and is not infringing on your rights. She also said in this correspondence that YouTube forwarded to me that if YouTube does not remove my content, hold all funds/payouts from my channel and prevent me from publishing content in the future, that you, Bunnie XO, will be suing me and suing YouTube/Google. Here's the Google Drive link to the PDF version of Jeanette's correspondence with YouTube's legal team. YouTube has sided with me and is not taking down my content. Girl, you gotta fire Jeanette yesterday. And that's just my own opinion. Like, this woman is acting like this when you say that you have no idea. I also think it's really interesting that Bunnie said, why am I being dragged into this? Bunnie had Lauren the Mortician on her podcast. Now, from what I have seen, there are sometimes multiple different versions of Bunnie's podcast released, or they will sometimes take them down, re-edit them, and put them back up. For instance, the one with Lauren, part about Jamie Grayson, the child safety expert that was in a tiff and really where all of this started with Lauren the Mortician, who has still not had his account reinstated on TikTok because of Lauren the Mortician and Jeanette Braun. When Bunnie and Lauren were talking about him on the Bunnie XO Dumb Blonde podcast, the way Lauren was basically just rewriting history and making herself out to be the victim and being like, all I did was post one video or one response. And it's like, no, you didn't do that. You didn't do that at all. Like, it was a lot more than that. And no, like, it was way worse than that. You're not the victim here. Like, what are you talking about? Wild. And then just kept on with this idea of like, well, he doesn't have kids. Well, he's an expert in it. Is he going to teach? Like, is he going to start talking about embalming stuff? Like, no. Just because he has a dead relative or seen a dead body? No. He would leave that to you because that's something that you're an expert in. It's truly wild. And the misandry that is sprinkled in there and the discrediting of his certifications and making it seem like, oh, he just printed off the certification off the internet and all that is not okay. Now, the thing is, Bunnie can try to say like, oh, well, I just interview people. No, that's not all you do. What you do is egging them on and hyping up their story, no matter how false it might be. You're not just asking them questions. Like, you're not Lex Friedman over here who just like cut and dry asking questions, and you're not using protective language, and you're giving more credibility to their story, no matter how false it is. So you're not innocent here. Bunnie XO allegedly is the person who referred all of these creators who have been very problematic to Jeanette Braun, allegedly. It's also interesting that she said, again, not only why am I being dragged into this, or I'm being brought into this again. And it's like, you again, you are not innocent of this. You're not someone who can just wash your hands of this. You are involved in this. I hardly included Bunnie XO in my video. Of all of the individuals that we talked about, each of their little portions of the video, hers was probably the shortest. But she's being brought back into this and included in this entire situation, this entire story, because your dingus of a lawyer is submitting copyright strikes on people on their content to try to have it taken down. And there have been clips of you and her other clients saying that you're in support of that. And that's not okay. And she specifically did it to me. That's why I'm making multiple videos about it. You're being brought into it because she's your lawyer that you pay and is acting on your behalf and who works for you. Why wouldn't you be brought into it? So to continue with these DMs, Bunnie said, I'll talk to Jeanette today. I bet you will. I have a team that takes down anything defamatory or deemed that. I don't even see what is being taken down because I don't have time. And two, I don't allowing that negativity in. That's fine that you have a team that takes down things that are defamation or have been deemed as such, but my content isn't deemed as such, and submitting copyright takedown requests because you think something is defamation, like that's not right. That's not a proper use of those reporting systems. If you think something is defamation and someone is, really doing it, then sue them for defamation. If you really think it's defamation, then bring a defamation lawsuit onto them. I actually appreciated your approach and had no issue with it. And just to clear the record, like I told Becca Day also, I don't just take people's things down for not liking me.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellie.
Now that's interesting because weren't you threatening to sue Becca Day multiple times because she said something that you didn't like? If you don't know, what are you doing? Becca Day is a TikToker and she posted this on her TikTok story. TikTok has stories now too. It said, for full transparency, after having some things sent to me last night and today, I believe both Kelsey and Bunnie didn't tell me the truth. In my opinion, for what has been observed in comment sections and live streams in the past 48 hours, they knew what they were doing and they are refusing to understand what copyright laws are. What a shame. Bunnie texted her and said, Becca, you are really showing your character. I have told you nothing but the truth. I have zero reason to lie, but what you aren't going to do is keep using my name to fuel the fire online for your agenda. Especially when you were telling half-truths. I unfollowed you because you blatantly lied in the video I asked you to make. If this continues, I will take legal action. That's not a threat. That's me coming to you as a woman who has a brand to protect and refuses to let you keep lying and harassing me. That's not harassment. What is your attorney's info? I'm hiring counsel to address this from here on out. You're hiring counsel. Let's hope it's not Janet. And of course, I have Becca Day's permission to share all of this because she is amazing. True girly, if you will. Becca Day responded back to Bunnie and said, Kelsey went on live today and said she would happily take anyone's content down, talking poorly of her. She said she had the resources and she'd do it again. She commented on your video saying, thank you for teaching me your ways, and you responded back positively. You reposted Lauren's video that paints Kitty in a disgusting light and is filled with provable lies. I do not understand women who move like this. We are calling out something illegal that is taking place on this app, and multiple creators, you, Kelsey, Gabby, have all admitted to being a part of false copyright strikes. That is true. Attorneys reaching out to me advising me on how to report this to the proper government agencies. Bunnie, if my lawyer or manager was filing false copyright strikes in my name illegally with someone who I had an issue with on the internet, I would make it known. I would make a statement, but none of you guys have done that. Instead, it has been a consistent double down. You guys are mad at me for calling out something illegal happening on the internet that you are involved in. Your anger is misdirected. That's something that I have said so much. It's like, so you're mad at commentators for commenting on your behavior. Why don't you just stop the behavior? What? Like, you're mad at someone for calling you out, but it's like, are you mad you got caught? Like, what's going on here? And then Bunnie said, I'm allowed to defend my friends. That doesn't make you the judge or the jury to keep slandering my name. It's not considered slander. Also, in this instance, if it was defamation, it would be libel, not slander, because it is published onto the internet. What is your attorney's name? I will be suing you. And Becca Day said, for sharing that I believe you were not honest with me, for sharing my opinion. This is all so bizarre to me. People can speak about you online negatively or positively and share their opinions. So Bunnie continues in the DM to me and said, I have a bone to pick with Caruso because she body shames my husband, and what we will never do is talk about Papa Bear. Ugh, cringe. I'll go to war for my family. Wonderful, love that for you. And Reddit people who clearly try to cause harm and just spread vicious lies. That's it. Anyone else saying I have things taken down is lying. Now I have a lot to say about this. So I let her know, which you'll see in a second, but I don't know much about this Caruso person. They are a creator on TikTok. They do like internet drama commentary, stuff like that. From what I have been told by other people, she seems like kind of a and that she like takes things too far and just like is unprofessional. And you can be like sassy and fun and cool, but still be professional. So yeah, seems like she just takes things way too far. And obviously body shaming someone that's not cool. Don't do that. That's not nice. But also that's not defamation. Is it rude? Yeah. If it's very, very consistent and continuous, could it be considered harassment and bullying? Of course. But that's not defamation. It's not lies. It's opinions. It's someone's negative opinion. They don't have a good opinion about you. They're able to share that, especially on the internet. That's freedom of speech. Now, if people are lying about you, of course, yes, that's defamation. And of course, they have to be saying it as a fact instead of just like, oh, I think this happened, or I wonder if, or phrasing it in a certain way that like it's just your opinion and what you think is happening and your understanding of certain things. However, most of the things that I've seen, especially on these Reddit pages that they talk about, are truly just opinions. And most Reddit pages have so many like disclaimers and are so like tightly locked up because they don't want to be removed, taken down, whatever. For instance, like Trishy Land. That place is disgusting and that's not okay. Definitely not okay. There are a few that are like just really take things too far and like it's not okay. But also from what I have heard and what I've seen on Reddit, it seems like a lot of these people will have things taken down by copyright. And Bunnie apparently has had that happen too. For copyright, for sharing their photos. Sharing someone's photo is not copyright infringement, but that's how they get it, all these Reddit threads taken down. Like there's apparently not a snark page on her. So crazy. Now on Reddit, on snark pages, on hate threads, stuff like that, do people take it too far? Yes. Are people just dicks and hate everything about someone completely and just are very unhinged about it? Absolutely. 100%. But that's not defamation. That's just people saying they don't like you. And as an internet personality, as a public figure, you're going to experience that. Is it right? Is it fun? Is it normal? Should it be a thing? No. But that's going to happen. That's part of the job. It's part of the gig. It's a negative consequence of the life you live. For instance, there are hate threads and hate groups about me, and I get messages and comments and mean stuff all the time. I mean, there are people who say that I am apparently racist, ableist, exploiting my child, lazy, that I'm fat, that I'm fake. Did I already say that one? That I'm a grifter, that I'm a Bible-thumping Trumper, that I'm alt-right, that I'm entitled, that I'm a mean girl, like all these things. And do I know those things to be false? Absolutely. However, those all are just opinions. That's what that is. And does it suck? Sure. To be misunderstood on the internet or have people just run off with their own theories and make up a reality about you in their head and perpetuate that to the internet? Sure. But someone's opinion is not defamation. Someone could think that something is racist and then someone else could not think it's racist. Unfortunately, yes, you'd think it'd be a little bit more, no pun intended, black and white in that case, but it's not. Same with homophobia, same with being a TERF, same with being unethical, same with all that, right? It's a matter of opinion. And that has been previously decided, like in the courts, that, someone saying these types of things about you is a matter of opinion. And obviously, are there probably people who, yes, do take it too far and who are super gross about it and rude and mean and hateful and do stalking and defamation and all that towards Bunnie? I'm sure that there are, because people are chronically online and awful and take it too far. I don't think that anyone deserves that. It's different than defamation. If you actually believe it's defamation, slap a lawsuit on it, babe. But that's not what people are doing. You're having your lawyer take advantage of copyright reporting systems to take down things that you don't like that people are saying about you. Also, from what I've heard, people have alleged to me that previously Bunnie XO has weaponized her audience to like dox people, harass people's kids, and do a bunch of other stuff like that. And not okay. Like, go touch grass. It's so weird. So then Bunnie touched on the whole Cody Elise situation. Now, she said the situation with Cody was the only other situation, which was 2 to 3 things she had posted because she altered my podcast clip to fit her narrative. But as far as TikTok, I have never had anything on there taken down. I always own up to anything I've done and have kept it 100% through all this. The clip you used from my podcast was me talking about Reddit people, not TikTokers. Again, she says she's keeping it 100. You're not innocent. Bunnie is not innocent. Back in the day, Cody shared and the Do We Know Them podcast shared it too, the copyright reports, the takedown requests through Instagram that Jeanette was doing. It was Jeanette. The receipts are there. Jeanette taking it down. And it was a lot. It wasn't just clips of Bunnie's podcast. It was a lot of things that had no clips from Bunnie's podcast included on those certain slides that were also taken down. And then Cody's Instagram was banned. And you can say all day long, oh, I didn't know. It doesn't matter if you didn't know. Your lawyer is acting on your behalf. And I'm sure you find out that these things are happening because there's such an uproar on the internet, but yet she's still doing it and she works for you and you pay her to do all these things. Like, don't you see on those billable hours? Don't you see on those invoices? Every time she charges you to do something. Don't you see that? But yet you're still using her and her actions still continue on your behalf. You're not innocent just because you're not doing it. you're paying for it to be done. Now, like I said, with her podcast, she has on guests and doesn't just, ask questions here and there. I'm just an interviewer. I'm just sitting here. No, you are giving these people's story more credibility, not just by interviewing them and, having them on your platform, but by egging them on and adding your own 2 cents to things when you don't necessarily know the situation at all. And in my opinion, very unprofessional. For instance, with the Cody situation. So Cody posted on her Instagram the screenshot of the podcast episode that Bunnie XO did with Perfectly Kelsey. And she said, yep, can no longer support Bunnie. It appears from multiple other episodes aired as well. The podcast for healing is just a cover for slander. It'd be libel. Come on, guys. You gotta know what the difference is. Get it together. Love you, Cody. Come on. How are you going to not fact check DV situations before you allow snippets of discrediting air on your podcast? Then she tagged Bunnie and the podcast. Do better. It's not just on your editors or producers to do this. Everyone loves your podcast, so we can stop it with the healing cover up. Messy is trendy. Say it for what it really is. Also, not caring to fact check as being a DV survivor yourself is crazy. So what she's referencing is that Bunnie had Perfectly Kelsey, an influencer, let's call her a previous colleague of Cody Elise, on her podcast, the Dumb Blonde podcast. She had her on they talked for so long, it was split up into 2 episodes, part 1 and part 2, and this aired in December 2022. Both episodes did. During the part 2 episode titled Perfectly Kelsey Part 2, Breakups, Broken Friendships, and Babies, Kelsey was discussing her experiences with Cody Elise. Again, like I said, they're both influencers. They were basically in the same collaborative group. They would do collabs together. They would tag each other and stuff. And it was a big TikTok thing, what the kids do. And Kelsey even says in there multiple times that they were best friends and everyone loved each other. And that's just interesting because I've heard multiple other sources, other people, other podcasts say weird thing to say for someone that you literally hung out with twice. It's very weird. To me, I personally think, and again, this is just my unhinged opinion that no one asked for, I think that Kelsey tells the story this way so that she can make it seem like her and Cody were closer than they were, so that it seems like, I guess it was over a guy or something, really screwed her over, to kind of paint Cody as more of the villain or the antagonist of Kelsey's story. And in that part 2 episode, they discussed some SA situations that involved Cody Elise, and in my opinion, they discredited it big time. And not just Kelsey, but in my opinion, Bunnie did too with, her adding in her little snippets and opinions and things. Even when she even admitted in the podcast episode itself that she didn't know about these situations or didn't know much about Kelsey either. Around the 8-minute mark of the part 2 episode with Kelsey, Bunnie even says, and I am paraphrasing here obviously, she says something along the lines of yeah, people get mad at me because, they say that I need to research my guests better. And she's like, no, hell no, I don't research them. I don't look into them because I don't want to have a preconceived idea or a bias towards them. I need them to get here so I can feel their energy and make up my mind for myself. And it's okay, sure, make your own opinions, but you need to be aware of these other certain situations so that you can have an educated interview. And it's not just a conversation that's problematic. But sure, I guess she wants to have problematic conversations. She had Jeffree Star on her podcast. It seems strange. You're a podcaster, do your job. Use some protective language, girl, please. Get a sign that says allegedly, at least. Also, when she said that the clips that I used of her was her referring to getting Reddit accounts taken down or Reddit threads, whatever, not TikTokers. But in 1 or 2 of them, I think it might have just been one of the clips, she had said oh, you're not going to make a profit off of my image, off my name, whatever. Since when do Redditors monetize their posts, their comments, their threads? As far as I know, they don't. So wouldn't you really be referring to TikTokers, people on Instagram, people on monetized platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram? Wouldn't that make more sense? So yeah, girl, I hope that you can understand that I think this situation is so sad. I feel like if Lauren and Jamie could have just had an adult conversation, all of this could have been avoided. I feel terrible for all the parties involved. I should have never gotten to this. Life is too beautiful to be constantly surrounded by negativity, and I refuse to keep dealing with this situation on any level. That's why I block anyone to protect my peace at all costs, which hopefully you can understand. I got a lot to say about this one, so let's break it down. She said, this situation is so sad. Who's it sad for, Bunnie? Is it sad for Jamie, who still hasn't had his TikTok account reinstated? He had one of his main sources of income ripped from him because he corrected misinformation, and Lauren didn't like that. Is it sad for the 4 content creators that were really just reporting on these situations that are being sued by your insane, in my opinion, lawyer and Lauren the Mortician jointly being sued for defamation? Is that sad? Is it sad that those 4 content creators are going to have to spend upwards of $40,000 to $50,000 on this, what in my opinion is clearly a frivolous lawsuit, and in the opinion of other very well-established lawyers that are also content creators as well? Is that who it's sad for? And then she said, I block anyone to protect my peace. A lot of people do that. Sometimes I will do that. But there's a difference between protecting your sanity, protecting your peace, and then avoiding accountability. So then a little bit later, and by a little bit later, I mean like, I think it was like, it was like 20 minutes later. She said, I was just sent something you posted on IG stating that you don't believe me. LOL. This is why I blocked you. Trying to explain myself to y'all always falls on deaf ears. And unlike you guys, I don't do things for views. I don't post convos and try to get people to rally behind me to attack y'all. It's a weird way of living, to be honest. And to surround yourself with that much negativity isn't healthy, girl. Life is all about intentions and the universe picks up on that. Either way, there's no beef on my end. Do you, baby? First and foremost, let's read my responses that I was saying previously to her because I took a minute to respond because I got distracted. We'll do that and then we'll go back to her message and break that down. So I said, body shaming your husband is not okay, as well as lying and bullying harassment. I've only heard of Caruso in passing, and I'm not familiar with her content at all. The podcast clips that I used in my deep dive on Jeanette was to show that her clients don't understand and don't care about fair use in regards to copyright infringement. And I said, and yes, I did post that on my Instagram story this morning prior to us talking, saying that I don't believe it to be true that you are unaware of Janet's actions, which she is doing on your behalf. And I said, I still do think that since she is acting on your behalf and threatening lawsuits against individuals whose content is protected under fair use / freedom of speech, you're complicit or would be accountable for that as she is acting on your behalf, which I still stand by that. I still think that's the truth. You can't play into that dumb blonde persona that much. Come on, get it together. Now she said, unlike you guys, I don't do things for views. Pretty bold thing for a podcaster to say, right? If that were true, if you didn't do anything for views, you wouldn't have a public podcast. You wouldn't have any public social media and your digital footprint wouldn't be as massive as it is. Insult or this dig or whatever you want to call it is not the insult that people think it is. They'll post a video and they're like, oh, you're just doing this for views. It's the new like, oh, you're jealous or like you have hate in your heart. It's like, no, get a better insult. Whenever anyone says like, oh, you're just doing this for views, obviously, if I didn't want this content to be seen, I would not have posted it. Just like any picture you post on the internet, you wanted it to be seen. Otherwise, you would have just kept it on your phone. You would have just kept it for yourself. Saying, oh, you just posted this for views is like me saying to someone with a normal like 9 to 5 corporate office job, you only clocked in for money today. You only worked to make a living today. How dare you? Also, she said, that's a weird way to live. Yeah, posting things for views is a weird way to live. Coming from a podcaster, in my opinion, weaponizes her lawyer against people to silence people. Talk about a weird way to live. Also, she said having people rally behind us and attack people. Do people just not read disclaimers? Do people not like, that's why in deep dives, especially because there's so many new viewers, usually I vocalize disclaimers ridiculously, like to a point where it's annoying, or at least it is for me. I say constantly in my videos, don't go engage with these people. Keep that in the comments, babe. You don't need to go talk to them because then that makes it seem like I am sending people your way and that could be seen as harassment. It's not what I'm doing. I don't want you to engage with them. Engage with my comments. That's it. That's all. Just do that. So I don't know who she's talking about, but it ain't me. Also, if you're doing that on behalf of a public figure, content creator, whoever, someone you like on the internet, that makes them look bad because you are in their fan base and only doing that on their behalf. So please don't do that. That's extremely inappropriate and makes the person you're defending look bad. Now, if you're just speaking facts, okay, fine, whatever. But, don't be a Now, like I said at the beginning, I don't know why my DM request on Instagram, like that folder, is so weird. But here is the DM that I finally did see from BUNNIE XO to my Instagram. And this was in response to my Instagram story where I said 120K views with no threats or copyright claims yet. Yay! I obviously spoke too soon. So she responded to that one and she said, hey girl, feel free to message and talk to me anytime since you want to keep talking about me with zero context. I have not tried to take any of your videos down. Matter of fact, I even told Jeanette to just leave it alone and that you didn't say anything bad about me in the video. So if she filed on my behalf, it was after I told her to leave it alone. If she filed, she did. Also, lots to unpack here. Zero context? What are you talking about? There's a lot of context. You said you watched the video. There is a lot of context. And then she said, a matter of fact, I told Jeanette to leave it alone. So Jeanette is just completely going rogue on her own and threatening to sue people on your behalf, like saying that you're also going to sue YouTube and Google and like fighting with Google and YouTube on your behalf. Like, how and why is she still your lawyer? That's really embarrassing and extremely unprofessional. Like, what are you doing? And then also saying, and you didn't say anything bad about me in the YouTube video. Even if I did say something bad about you, it would have been an opinion, not defamation. Didn't you just say that you don't have people's content taken down because they say that they don't like you or they say like not nice things about you? Interesting that you just flip-floppity-flopped on that. I know your name is Bunnie, but you ain't got to be that floppy. Flopsy wopsy. Come on, what are you doing? She told her Jeanette to leave it alone. Jeanette then, according to Bunnie, without Bunnie's permission and literally against Bunnie's directive of saying don't do anything about it, then went and argued with YouTube for 2 to 3 days trying to get my content, my entire channel taken down for this video for copyright infringement when no copyright infringement took place, and it is fair use, thank God, that YouTube didn't mess this one up. And now you know that that happened and that that is a fact. And you've seen the emails because I sent them to you, and she's still your lawyer? That is a problem. All caps. That is a problem. You're not innocent. This is why you keep getting dragged into it. You can't just be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm so innocent. I'm so above this drama. Like, this is, girl, you are the drama. This is the problem. What are you doing? You're empowering this woman to do these types of things, and she's doing them on your behalf, and that gives her more credibility. What's going on here? Now, I have seen a lot of people in comment sections, mine, other people's, whatever, across Reddits and stuff, being like, what does Jeanette get from this? How does this benefit her? And the thing is yes, I do think that having these like internet famous, semi-famous, whatever people talk to her, hype her up, know of her, be thankful for her like working on their stuff and like being a warrior for them and a protector for them. Yes, I think that feeds her ego. Also, keep in mind, she gets paid. No matter how frivolous the lawsuit, they have to pay her. No matter if she wins or loses, they have to pay her. If the courts decided that whatever lawsuit is frivolous, and then Janet's clients would have to then, thanks to anti-SLAPP laws and depending on what state you're in, obviously, but then Janet's clients would have to pay the legal fees for whoever the defendant is. So not only is Janet's client paying Janet, but then also paying the defendant's legal fees too. So these people are wasting a lot of money, but yeah, she gets paid. Gabby Egan even said that she's draining her bank account. And it's like, I don't know if she does billable hours. I don't know if they have her on retainer or if it's like per action, per task, but she's doing the most, it seems like. So these content creators really need to do better and be smarter, especially with their money, and not work with this lady. She's probably made so much money off them. I mean, get your bag, girl, but like, really? Now, there's a special category of internet personality who really just seem to single-handedly ruin their own career on the internet and potential, like the golden egg that was, get handed to them on the internet. The golden egg of an opportunity is what I mean. And they just ruin that themselves and just flush it down the drain. These types of people that come to mind are YouTubers like Illuminati or Deaf Noodles. That boy can hardly even get 1,000 views per video now. That's insane. That's so crazy. Just flushed that opportunity down the toilet. And then Sam Pepper and Gabby Hanna are people who also come to mind as well. However, all those people are on YouTube, and thanks to the crazy TikTok algorithm, it seems like people who are mainly content creators over there aren't really affected by their own actions, it seems. For instance, thanks to that TikTok algorithm, Lauren the Mortician is still going strong. She's got on a lab coat, she's embalming bodies, answering questions, showing off urns. So she's really just back at it. I mean, girl got a tummy tuck like right after, which good for her, but like she got a tummy tuck right after all this shit went down. And people were like, the best thing about this is like, she doesn't even care. She's so unbothered. And it's like, there's a difference between being unbothered and being like calm about like the craziness going on around you. And then there's the flip side of that where it's like, you are just completely not holding yourself accountable and just lack all self-awareness to a point of like you lacking self-preservation too. Because eventually this type of behavior does catch up with you. Don't send any hate to anyone. This is, educational purposes. I don't think that what these people are doing is right. Just pointing out discrepancies in these stories. I do think that she was being manipulative in her texts with me. If the updates could like stop coming in, I'd really appreciate it. Good Lord. So the plot thickens, how the turntables. This is insanity. Here we are on Sunday working. Jeanette got me working on a Sunday. what? As if I'm not working at like 4 a.m. anyways. It turns out, so my deep dive that I did on Jeanette Braun, which was posted last Saturday, so over a week ago now, by the time this video is posted, because it'll be posted the following Monday, hopefully. Not only did she attempt to, and thank goodness was unsuccessful at copyright striking my video on behalf of Bunnie XO, she also attempted to copyright strike my video on behalf of herself, which is hilarious. So I got yet another email from YouTube saying copyright takedown request received for your video. But in this instance, it says copyright owner, Braun IP Law LLC, relationship to owner meaning herself. So the thing that she's saying that she has registered with the copyright whatever, and that she actually did like copyright this TikTok is the one where she's talking about Becca Day, and she's saying that Becca Day is like lying about her, and it's like, and then she goes on to say the most like literal, like, who are you, Amelia Bedelia? What are you doing? Like, she takes what Becca says and is like so literal about it, and she's like, she says that I, made copyright strike whatever on people's channels or content, and I can't do that because I'm not the platform. And it's like, you know what she means. What are you talking about? So I found that obviously very interesting. And then also there is a timestamp that she shows. And I always think it's really funny to see if she actually got the timestamp correct, because it seems like most of the time she doesn't. So she said that it was from 2 minutes and 4 seconds to 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So let's see if she actually got that right. So for once, it looks like she actually got the timestamps correct, which is good. Good for her. She's learning. She said also, image and thumbnail of video was taken from the work. Was it taken from that? I don't think it was. I think I took it from a different one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took it from a different one. But either way, it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. Even if she registered copyright, whatever, on those specific things, it just doesn't matter. And it's so interesting that she did it. And you would think, oh, well, did she do it with every single one of her TikToks? No, it's just with those two. So we can see her from the US Copyright Office that she has registered for in the name of her LLC, in the name of her business. And there's lightning in a bottle, which is like her slogan or motto, whatever. Her tagline, if you will. And then there's Jeanette M. Braun photo. I don't know what that is because there's like not an example of it. It's very weird. And then number 3 is Becca Day false accusations, referring to her TikTok, I assume. And then we have Becca False too, the squeakquel of Becca Day false accusations, if you will, which is hilarious. All of what we are going over here falls under fair use still, even if it is copyrighted material, even if you have registered, that copyright, it doesn't matter. Still falls under fair use, as I am providing commentary. So realistically, that was the only difference between this email and the last one that I got from when she filed on behalf of Bunnie. And I just find it so interesting that she went back and forth multiple times. They still were like, no, I really wouldn't be surprised if she tried to, and again, I don't know this to be true, but I'm just saying it would be interesting if she tried to do it on behalf of herself, on behalf of Bunnie, on behalf of Kelsey and Lauren, and literally all these people, which would be crazy, right? Because a copyright strike, if you have 3 that are successful, obviously none of these so far have been successful, but if you have 3 that are successful on your channel within a certain amount of time before it drops off, your channel is terminated and you can't make another one. And if they find out that you do, they take down that one too. It is so crazy. And I wouldn't be surprised if she did file other ones on me too. But trying to get someone's channel and their livelihood, obviously, because this is my job, taken down just because people are saying things that you don't like. I was talking to someone about this at dinner last night. It's like, you don't like what I'm saying, but what I'm saying and what I'm showing is your own actions and things that you have said and done. And I'm just bringing light to it and commentating on it. So you're mad at me, like your anger is misdirected, like Becca Day has said previously towards Bunnie. Your anger is misdirected. You should be mad at yourself for doing those things rather than mad at me for having an opinion on it. Like, you're a public figure. So that's update number 1 with all of this. And then the next update is truly, truly wild. Now, let me be clear before I say this. A lot of people have said, these influencers shouldn't be using Jeanette, or aren't they embarrassed? Why are they still working with her? They should fire her. They shouldn't work with her. I've said things like that too. And that's just my opinion and the opinion of other people as well, based on our understanding of all these situations and what has happened, right? Right. For instance, if Jeanette was my lawyer, I would not. She would not be, first and foremost. But if she did all this and was making me look this bad, I would fire her. That's what I would do. And I said that to multiple people. I was like, what are you doing? You should not be working with her. It's not making you look good. Now, the next update comes from our girl, BUNNIE XO, who has also blocked me again on all social media. Again, she's allowed to. Who cares? She can block whoever she wants. BUNNIE posted on her YouTube community tab and said last night or yesterday and said, I'm healing from no one knows about, minding my biz, being my man's right hand, showing my daughter she can have anything she wants in this life, and building a whole empire myself from the ground up, while y'all lie and gossip online. Just because you're not liking what people are saying does not mean that it's lies or gossip. People are allowed to have opinions, just like you do on your podcast and on your social media. She said, we are not the same. You have 360 days to do better, or what? And then someone commented and said, I adore your content, girl, and you inspire me, but I can still see that your lawyer is going a little ham right now for all the wrong reasons. I don't think she knows how copyright works. I'm praying for your father and your further healing. I don't know what's going on with her dad. I wish them the best in that situation. She said, like I've said, I had nothing to do with that, and she's no longer my lawyer. And then someone else said, when there is an attorney using your name to do things to other creators, unfortunately, it will be brought up. No gossip, literal hard paper facts, which is true. And she said, that's on her, not me. She was fired over this. Now, I personally just think that's so interesting that, like, yeah, she is saying it in replies, but she wants to, distance herself, not be involved in things. Why not, like, make a statement? I mean, it doesn't have to be like a serious, press release or like a formal statement. You could literally just go on your Instagram story or your community tab or things like that and just say like, hey, this person's not my lawyer anymore. I don't want to be associated with them. And that's it. Or like, I don't agree with what they're doing. They're not my lawyer. I fired them for doing this. That's not okay. Goodbye. Like that could win over so many of your fans on in this situation. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to do that. I am wondering if other content creators who BUNNIE referred to Jeanette, if they will follow suit and if they will also stop using her. I personally do think that that's going to happen. But again, that's just like my prediction and opinion. Obviously, I ain't no fortune teller. Sometimes I do be though, sometimes I do be telling the future. And of course, that's unfortunate for Janet, but that's no one's fault in my own opinion, but her own, and her own actions got her fired from BUNNIE's camp employment. Business entity, whatever, you get it. So I think that's quite interesting. I would not be surprised if Lauren, the mortician, takes her name off of the defamation suit. I think she might be too far deep into this though. Yeah, I find that really interesting. I wish the best for Jeanette. I hope she learned something. Doubtful though, with how we've seen how she reacts to stuff. And it seems like she always thinks that she's right about everything when it's like, girl, clearly you wrong. Another thing that I wouldn't be really surprised about is if Jeanette sues me for tortoise interference, interfering with turtles. Like layman's terms, to my understanding. Again, I'm not a lawyer or legal representative of anyone, including myself, and I do have my own lawyer, but just from like my knowledge of things is that that's when you're interfering with someone's like revenue and their like contracts and stuff and, affecting their business like in that way. But the thing is that it wasn't me that did that. It was her. It was her own actions. So sue yourself, I guess. Yeah, so if that does happen, I will let y'all know. If she serves me, I will let y'all know. I would not accept her serving me through email. She would have to serve me in person, which it seems like she doesn't want to do because they haven't served the girlies, any of them, in person yet, which is really interesting. That's all the updates for now. Jeanette got herself, in my opinion, fired. I mean, it is apparently, according to BUNNIE, she got herself fired, or she fired her. So that sucks for her, but you know what? That's what happens when you're a little goblin. So sucks to be Janet. Cheers to that. I wish her good fortune in the wars to come, All right, well, have a great day, night, weekend whenever you're watching this. Subscribe if you are not already. Welcome to all of the new people. Appreciate you being new. And if you're not new, I appreciate you still. Your butt looks good. Remember, your feelings are valid. Go touch grass if you're real mad about something. I hope you get to take a nap today or also get a good snack. I'm craving empanadas. So I'm going to go do that and hang out with my kid and my husband. So goodbye. Appreciate you. If you heard snoring at the beginning of this video, it's my bulldog. It's not your refrigerator. Like, subscribe, comment. Okay, goodbye. I swear to God, if there's any other updates on this video, I'm going to burn my house to the ground. I'm just kidding. I won't. I'll make 40 more videos about this situation. Okay, bye.